Hello. Hi everyone. It is Miss Polly again, here for our Polly Talks. Um, I set up my lovely background today, or a couple days ago, but ours our first stream that kind of has this incorporated. So our wall is not bare, gives us a little bit of spice, and the party is here. Okay. So I'm also doing my stream again, well, with Miss Nolaphattwett. We are on tagged. We have we're on tag right now. We'll be streaming, getting questions back and forth on there. She'll be able to comment. We are battling at the moment, like last time, so you should be able to hear her fairly well. We also have new things for everyone to talk about. We have some good topics today, and then we also have some things like our shirts that just came. Let me see. So this is Miss Polly. Let me get that all in the camera. And you can see that Miss Polly Wright shirts. Okay, to make sure we're Polly and Wright. That's on both of you guys, so you can see those. We also have another one, which I love this one, the purple one. This is awesome. I know it's in the plastic, but I got these shirts today. If you want like a shirt made for you for Christmas or a gift, let us know. This one says Polly Wright, Polly Life, and I'm only as strong as my foundation. Oh, you can change the characters in there if you want to have, two ladies, two men, or whatnot. You can have that in there. I'll show both of you guys there. And then I'll show you this other one. It says, first things first, what kind of Polly are you? Same thing. I have my logo that I've made, my Polly heart here with the king on it because I over there, sorry, because I am polyandry, so I have the polyandry heart with the crown because I have kings in my pod. So that's what. So those can be changed out if you're interested in any of these shirts, or if you want to even personalize some of the ones like the Polly Wright one, we can do that for you. So that'd be awesome. We'll have that pricing and everything up. Just let me know. Hit me in the mail inbox. I'll let you know. Hey, I'm waiting for you, ma'am. So, hey, Two Tone. Hey, Trio. So, our conversation. What will it take to party with me, Thomas? Well, Thomas, I'm always down with a good party. I live in Nebraska though. Anyway, it's nice to meet you, Corey. Anyway, we're gonna have a good discussion tonight with some poly topics. Miss Nola, and I'm gonna tell you guys, we did have a little rant last video, and I will tell you, I think we were just really high in emotion, and I was cussing and everything. But usually it's more calmer, and so we're gonna try to keep that mellow down. We want to be as partial as possible, but we do want you guys to know how passionate we are about the things to talk about because those things happen in our real life daily, and so they really do affect us, and so it means a lot to us to make sure that everyone understands and really gets how we feel. Okay, so today one of our questions was Miss Nola. She can see her. You guys talk to her if you'd like to. We were talking about having limits on the partners you have. So that's one thing that people ask about being poly. A lot of men not men or women, a lot of their concern is when they're even transitioning from poly to a poly lifestyle from monogamy is, is this person going to have unlimited partners? Am I always going to be in a situation where my partner is going to be wanting someone new consistently all the time? And so what I found out is that, when your partner is in a motion where it's maybe just you and your partner, you're first starting off, maybe you add one partner, sometimes they have anxiety because they're like, oh my gosh, every time they go out on these dates, they're trying to add someone new. And it feels like they're never going to have an end to the stress of adding more partners. And so, hey, Big Mac. So once again, we are on tag, TAGG the dating app also. So you'll be hearing from me and Miss Nola. But so that was one of our questions, Miss Nola. How do you think that is about adding partners? We're talking about adding partners.
I think that is. I just recently went out of town to visit one of my long distance partners, and my partner of 3 years felt some type of way. Although he knows, that I talk to other people, he knows these things. He's okay with it. He still kind of had a moment, and it was like, this is what we're doing. We're gonna just get up and leave. But I think I might have did it the wrong way as well, because we were in the middle of like an argument, and I left. I wasn't upset anymore. Like, we talked about it, and I felt like we were in a place where I could do that, and we just, we had a little space.
Right.
But I think people do get nervous when you're talking to people, new people, and you're adding to your pod or your group. That makes them concerned, because then they start feeling like, I need to do a little bit more, because I don't want you to feel like I'm slipping or I'm missing something.
Right. Right. I'm sorry. I'm gonna fix this. I apologize. Make sure. Okay. So yeah. So adding partners can be really terrifying. For people who are monogamous, transitioning, or people who just aren't maybe as jealous as other people. Some of us aren't as jealous, and we have to be mindful of our partners and what their needs are. In that situation, because you could imagine that, like, they're not used to that. If they're monogamous transitioning, they're not used to someone going out and literally trying on purpose to find new partners. And Miss Nola, you should be a little bit louder when you talk, just make sure everyone hears us. But we want to make sure that your partner's in a safe place, and you want to make sure before, like Miss Nola was saying, before you leave and start going to interact with new partners, make sure you're okay in your situation. Sometimes we want to just be excited about going to meet new people, and your other partner is really not in a place for you to do that. Um, and I know people are like, oh, well, poly seems so much harder. It's not really. It's a lot more interaction with people, but it's because we do have more people to deal with, and we have to be a little bit more soft-hearted when it comes to adding people, because you have to be grateful for your partner. I've said it multiple times. You should really feel grateful for your partner who's transitioning, for giving you the opportunity to go out and meet new people, and giving you the trust that you're going to do the right thing when you're out there. Um, and so that's transitioning to one of our other things. What are some of the rules, Miss Nola, that maybe you think are good rules, or something that you would apply to a first time date situation? When your partner goes on a date, what kind of rules should you set forth, you think?
A first time date, you definitely shouldn't be touching anybody. You should really use that time to get to know that person, to see how y'all are compatible. Because in the first date, if you go out there thinking with your pelvic area, then I was trying to think of a word that worked for both. So you're using your pelvic area to think about it, then you're not making the best decisions. You know what I'm saying? You have to really be focused and clear minded. And I have that bad myself. I always be like, oh, let me rub up against you, and I need to not do that.
Right.
And I had a really nice experience, and none of it included sex. It was just a really nice, lovely time, and it was just like we bonded, and I think that made us closer than what we were before we left. Before I came down. So like, it was great, and there was not one. It was a whole week with no sex.
A whole week, no. See, that's nice. And sometimes some people bond differently. And me, Miss No, like I said, some of the rules that I will say, because of bonding situations, I think there's two different kind of people in this world. I think there's people who bond through sex. There's people who bond mentally, and some people who maybe don't feel like they have to have sex, or it's not really needed all the time. They bond different. So if you come on really heavy sexually, sometimes it can come off, a little, off-putting. And you don't want to do that to anyone. So definitely want to, you know, think about what you're going to do on your first date. So another rule in the first date is, or on a first kind of date situation, you want to maybe kind of start talking about rule before you go on the date. Wait, we need to pause all this. We know we said make your rules for your dating situation prior to the date. And when I mean set rules, I'm not talking about, oh, okay, we're gonna go on a date. I'm not gonna kiss them. Boo hoo hoo. Listen, like people say, we're humans. We are spontaneous. We might just want, we might say you want to go out till 12. We might stay out till 2. We want to be able to accommodate our partners and be able to give them space to move, because usually if you're poly, you don't want to feel captured, and you want to make it feel like a real experience without a lot of boundaries. So you can say, you know what, this may happen. This is what I mean. Some people are like, well, what happens if you just, you meet this person and you're so sexually attracted to them, you just want to have sex with them that first night. Kind of start saying like, what happens if you do have a slip up and you're in the bed and you're just rolling around and you start off just kissing and now you're getting all hot and heavy. What happens? Are we using protection? Are we make sure you're safe? Bring your protection. Even though we don't want those bad things to happen, don't make yourself look stupid either. Okay.
But you know what? And sometimes those things do happen, and we're adults, like you said. If it happens, that's it happened, and that's a situation where you have to sit down and say, hey, this is what happened, and you have to be honest, because at that point, it's a trust thing. If I can't trust you to tell me the truth, no matter if it's good or bad, then what do we have?
Correct.
Because I'm gonna be upset that it happened, but I'm gonna respect the situation because you came to me and you were very honest with me. Now, what I can't do is you lying with the truth and all of that. I won't. Right.
Hey, Holly Bolly. So yeah, you definitely want to be honest. We all mess up. Thank you for all those gifts. Like I said, we were on tag. Just to reiterate that. And so if you're in a situation and something does happen, share that with your partner. We all make mistakes, and if you did mess up, let your partner know, so then that you can have a conversation about that and how we want to improve a situation. And remember, as the person receiving that information, you have the right to be upset. You have the right to be upset. Remember, if that's someone you want to continue a relationship with, you want to be upset, but you also want to try to move forward. Okay? Maybe you need to step away for the evening, or say, you already knew, and then kind of figure out what you want to do from there, if that's important to you. So, those are big things, but definitely set out rules that cover wide ranges of situations, not just, oh, we're gonna go out and we're gonna high five and all that, because that's not how life is. You might, like I said, really get good rules, and rules that kind of, go everything. Hey, I don't want you to tell them too much. Do I tell them about my partner on the first night? I will say no. Unless you're dating in a situation where you're trying to date all of them, like couple dating. Couple dating is different. I will say, I believe when you're couple dating, you should be dating them separately and together. So you should go on individual dates with the male or female, and then go on separate one with the male or female, or the husband or wife separately, and then do dates together, so that you guys can know how it feels separately and together, and see if you're really connecting with each other and not just one-on-one. Because sometimes if you're dating like a spouse, sometimes one spouse has more time available than the other one, and then you're going to start bonding with the one who you either have more in common with, and you're not evenly spread out. So remember to date them separately and together, because you're going to be dating them separately and together. One partner may not be around. You're going to be with them alone. You don't want a situation where, oh, if we're not all three together, I don't really hang out with Jen. You want a situation where if I'm at home, I know my girls are together, or I know my guys will hang out and they'll be cooler playing PlayStation 5. I know that shit just came out today. Okay, anyway, so whatever.
Because the situation I have, my partner that I've been with for the longest, me and him have a lady that we talk to together, and me and her don't necessarily hang out alone. We've been trying to kind of fix that, because it's a little weird, but we only really hang out if all three of us are together.
And that's not really good chemistry. I'm not saying in her situation she should stop trying, I'm saying when you notice there's something like that happening, try to address it and try to fix it, because it does happen. You'll have that, and then the other person will be like, "There's not." Then you'll have one partner who gets all the communication because he's speaking through. You guys are speaking through that one partner. So if you have two women and one guy, the women are just speaking to the man, and he's giving out information back and forth, and he starts feeling like a speaker. And he's like, "You need to talk to each other. Stop talking to me."
I like.
They don't like it, and they make it. Okay. And men already don't want to. Half the time, they don't want to talk to you in that general that much anyway. And now they got to spread messages. They don't want to play telephone with you. Okay, we ain't passing messages, and then so I definitely don't want that. Yeah, so definitely set your rules up, and set up with your guidelines of how you want to date. Set up, if you want, how far you want to go. If you're more free and open, you're okay with kissing or whatnot. Some of my partners, we have rules where there's no sex until I'm actually committed in a relationship with you. Some rules you make for your pod based on your pod's needs. If your pod needs that because it makes them feel safe, do it. Forget what everybody else says. Forget what everybody else wants, because you and your pod are number one, and your needs need to be met. And whatever that is, you need to provide that for your group. If your group thinks that it's too stressful for them to think you're having sex right away with someone, don't do it, because you're threatening your home. You don't threaten your home. Okay. You don't threaten your home. You just make sure everything's good at home, and you go out. And I don't mean literally a home, your house. I mean your pod is your home. That's your family. That's your group. And then you want to make sure they're good prior to any real addings or dating, because they're going to be the ones who are going to really be in this with you. And that pertains to people like myself who are polyandry, and that also pertains to people who are polygamous, because our partners don't necessarily have to interact with each other. They're more platonic, but they still need to have the mentality that you are a group and a team, because what affects one partner will in fact affect the other ones. Even though we're like, we don't want to carry our emotions to the next relationship, you don't have to do that. But I'll tell you something, if my partner is sad and he's going through something, I may want to talk to you about that, and you have to know that you're in a place where you can accept that. So we are a team, and things that happen to one partner will affect me as a person. And if you love me and care about me, those things will affect you, because you don't want me to see me unhappy and in an unpleasant place. So, really think of yourself as a team, regardless if you're polyandry or polygamous. Just because they're platonic doesn't mean that their situations don't affect you, because they do. Okay? So, yeah. Do you have anything else to add about just the first? No, nothing else to add about it. We want to make sure. She's helping me. We're going to lead on here. Okay, this is a good one. Okay, I actually would hope this will segue, because we didn't want to stay on that long tonight. But maybe we can bring this up another one. Affording two women or two partners. I hear that from men a lot. They're like, I don't think I can afford two partners at this time. I would love to be poly, but I don't think I can afford two women. I've heard that a lot recently. And I think that's something really stupid to say. And I'll tell you why I think it's stupid. It's because there's plenty broke ass people out here. Sorry about that. Broke people out here, and they still date.
Right.
And they'll be broke as ever. They're living from paycheck to paycheck, and they still have women. They still have girlfriends and boyfriends. And my question is to that is, why are you then thinking of me as I am a bill, right? A bill. I'm not your bill. I'm not your bill. And if I care about you enough, I wouldn't make you think I was a bill. Now, hey, if you got money every week coming in, and I know you got extra money, and I might ask to get hey baby, you help me get my nails done this week or something, that's different. You can do that. Even broke people do that, because y'all go to clubs on the weekend. Y'all buy new outfits on the weekend, right? Jordans are not cheap, okay? So every once in a while, y'all get some of that done. So, shoot, some women get wigs every 2 weeks, like I said, and I include I make that happen. So if you're in need, it shouldn't really be technically a bill. So yeah, I've heard men say that, and I find it quite ridiculous. If you want to be in a poly, it should not be based off money. Now, if you're in a building poly, still same situation. You might want to get with partners who have ambitions to be more than what they are. They want to bring in something, but as long as you're really contributing to your needs and your needs of your pod, I really don't see the issue. I really don't see the issue, because you might need something more emotional that that person can provide. Making money is a positive in a polypod, but it is not a, it's not the only factor in it. It's like when you meet a man, you might want a man who has a job, and that's wonderful. But I mean, you also want to make sure he's not an asshole. So I don't think it. I don't think that saying, you know. Go ahead, Miss Nola. She gonna say her.
Some people equate, oh, I did this for you, I did that for you, so you need to do these things for me, and that's a bad attitude to have. Terrible.
Hey, King. Yeah, you. And like I said, and this is one of the things that society makes women feel like they're being purchased, and really, truthfully, if you really, this goes back to back in the day. Hey, the truth is, women were seen as commodities. We were seen as money, to some extent. We were real estate, we were property, and that you, like, dowries and all that, those things, we were seen as very profitable things depending on who you marry. So it kind of still comes down that chain. Still, we're kind of moving out of it, but we still, there's lots of things that men do that seems like they're buying you all the time. And some women like it. They're like, oh well, he's being so nice to me, he's helping. But truthfully, so some women like myself, I do feel like I'm being purchased sometimes when we go out. When they're like, oh, when the guy comes to me and says, hey girl, I'm gonna take you out to the fanciest restaurant I can find. Why are you doing that? I mean, do you like it there at that restaurant? If the answer is no, you don't like it, you're just trying to show me how much money you can spend, that kind of makes me feel like, okay, well, you're buying me. Because I'm going to tell you, I like Texas Roadhouse, okay? And that's not that expensive, and those rolls are delicious. And I'll take that any day over going to another fancy place that's going to cost you $300. I do. I feel that way. But I mean, some women, they like money, and I've heard some women come on YouTube and say you need to be able to afford two women. I've heard that before. Don't get in. They say do not get into a situation where you have two girlfriends and you can't afford it. And my question is, why are they affording you? Because
what does that even mean? Right.
And I'm not. I mean, I understand the women like, well, a man's supposed to take care of the house. First off, you're being poly. That means all usual monogamy shit really doesn't apply to us. Half that monogamy shit doesn't apply to us anymore because we're not even playing the same game. Okay, we're playing sports, but you're playing baseball and I'm playing football. Not all the rules apply. Okay, we have different situations. We have, stuff is different. And so if you want to make sure your man or your main gentleman has a lot of money and you think that's what he should have for you and your pod because you want to stay home and just do that other stuff, I mean, that's fine if that's how you want your dynamic, but don't apply that to everyone across the board. If that makes sense. A lot of women like to work. A lot of women like to bring their own money home. A lot of women want to go to school. So, we're no longer at the point where a lot of women are staying home. They're transitioning. A lot of women are not even at home. A lot of women want to be outside the house to build for themselves. And so not necessarily having a man take care of you is what we want to do. So we just want to be able to provide whatever our pod needs. And that's why before you date someone or looking for someone, write down your needs. Maybe your needs are that me and my wife make a lot of money, or me and my partner make a lot of money, and we don't want someone to try to tag along with us to suck us dry while we're working hard and they're not working. See, that's just finding a personality flaw, because that person obviously is a user. But if you and your partner work good job, you guys are established, and you're dating someone younger than you, and they're going to school, or they have a little job and they're trying to find themselves, and you want to be with them, maybe that's their time to find themselves. Not necessarily take advantage of you, but just maybe they're in a place with you guys and they're benefiting from you because you have benefits, but it's not because they want to take something from you. You know what I'm saying? So just be mindful of that and be wary, because there are people who will try to take advantage of you also. But you guys, use your better thinking. If you think it's yes, address it. Use your antennas. That's what Miss Nola says. She says use your antennas. Or your antennas when you saw her asking for credit cards and asking can she go out with her friends and she work at Burger King. Where were your antennas? They wasn't out. They was down in the dirt. You gotta pull them up. So okay. So we were making our short video today. So those were a little bit of questions we had that we came across. Hi, Shaw. If anyone else had any questions, anyone in live over here in tag, or anyone alive in here, do you have any questions, Shaw? If you have any questions, we have been writing out questions that people have or things that we've been seeing in our poly groups that have questions about anything poly. We're going to address them and we're going to post them here and on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Mzpoly Right. Like I said before, we're on tagged. Miss Nolaphattwett is on tagged. She also has a Facebook page, same name. And then we're selling some shirts, Poly right before holiday time here. I know a lot of y'all. It's Poly right, and we have some. You guys can kind of change these or modify them, but this one's really cute. Like I'm polyandry. Sorry, I'm polyandry. So I have a woman up top there, and the 3 men. And I said you're only as strong as your foundation. Now you can change those to have maybe a woman and your 2 men, or you just have your 2 ladies and your gentleman on there for you, and then we'll get that set up for you. And we'll put some orders in if you want to do that for holidays. And we have some other ideas for like some robes that you can have some really cool robes, and we'll be able to put those out for the holiday or whatever, because Valentine's Day is coming and you want to show your special partners some special love, because it's always nice to have cute things during holidays, and they usually are monogamous, so they're one-on-one and you don't get to share that love with all your partners. And so it's really nice for us to be able to provide some of those things for you guys, some trinkets. So we'll wrap this up, and then maybe you come here again and we'll have some more questions asked and answered. And please go ahead and write in the comments here. I go back and read them, and you can find us on tag if you like to, and come and watch the stream. We have lots of fun there. Yep, you can catch us. We have OnlyFans and everything. If you want to get to know us more, we can have that conversation too. So we'll get to talk to you again. You guys have a wonderful evening. Bye.
Bye.